Welcome. I have my cup of tea with me, as you can see here if you're watching on YouTube, and that can only mean one thing, and that is it's time for a breakdown of another Crystal Palace game. And this is the home game to Southampton, which took place as of recording this yesterday. And it was one of those games. It was one of those games. We'll go through the lineups. We had Jack Butland in goal. Apparently, Gaeta had hurt his hand, which I think he was having treatment of it the previous game against Everton. So he was on the bench, but Butland was in goal. There was Ward, Tompkins, Gehi, and Mitchell at the back. Anderson was fit and on the bench, but Tompkins played, I think, because of how well he played against Everton. Gallagher, Hughes, and Kouyaté. Kouyaté, obviously the one of the holders in the middle, along with Hughes. Hughes had a great game against Everton, so he was in from the start. Then up front, Ayew, Edouard, and Zaha. Now, on paper, this looks like a game which you would expect Palace to win, because Southampton have a very bad run recently, conceded a lot of goals, haven't looked the best, and so you think without the way that we've been playing this season, you think that we would have a pretty good run of it, and that's certainly what I was expecting. And early on, that really happened. Literally after the first 2 minutes, I think it was almost, they scored a goal. Wilfried Zaha came into the box, wrong foot to the keeper, bottom left-hand corner. Fantastic effort, and it was great to see us playing really good football. Sorry, it's my squeaky chair. It was great to see us playing really good football. We were playing well. We were passing it really well, and I was really impressed with it. I think after that early goal and the way that we've been playing, I think we got a little bit complacent, because as the half went on, after 10, 15, 20 minutes, Southampton came back into the game, and they were starting to put a lot of pressure on us, and it was getting to the point where we were starting to defend a little bit deeper. They were pushing up really high, and I've said this before: when teams push us really high up the pitch and close us down really quickly, it stops us playing, and it causes us problems. And it was causing us problems yesterday against Southampton. Southampton were pushing up and playing really high, and that was causing us trouble. As the first half progressed, Southampton were coming into the game more and more, and then we gave away a bit of a silly free kick outside the 18-yard box. And James Ward-Prowse, he's a very good free kick taker, and he was on a central in the area, but just outside the 18-yard box. And you always think it's a dangerous area when you've got James Ward-Prowse there, and it was a great goal. He hit it really well, went into the top corner. Not really anything Butland could do. I think he might have got a tip of a finger to it, but that was all. And there it was at 32 minutes, 1-1. So at that point, we were a little bit under the cosh, and we looked like we were hanging on at times. Southampton were pushing forward. They were being very dynamic. As soon as we got the ball, they were chasing us down and grabbing the ball from us, and we were making little silly mistakes again, like missed passes and stuff like that, which was a little bit difficult. But Butland was doing long balls from the back, which is something that we haven't done for a while. Gaeta tends to just keep the ball, play it to the nearest defender, but he was hitting it forward, which was fine. But it seemed as though we weren't able to keep the ball in that way, but the ball was tending to just come straight back to us. And then on 36 minutes, another fantastic goal, this time by Armando Broja, and that made it 2-1 to Southampton. And it was a bit of a double body blow, and I think we were a little bit on the back foot at that point, and we were struggling. I have to be honest, we were struggling at that point, but we managed to hold on to the first half ended and keep it at 2-1. I have to say, Southampton played very well, and whether it was because we let them play and let them get back into the game, or whether they just thought to themselves that we just really got to go for it here, I'm not sure. But they were playing really well at this point. And so we went into the second half. There were no changes at half time, and it came out very fast paced again, like it had in the first half. Everyone was, there was a lot of toing and froing. The ball was going backwards and forwards between both teams. We started in the second half to have a bit more impact on the game, and started to string a few more passes together. We looked like we were trying to get forward and score goals, and it was working. We were trying to make something happen. For me, Zaha had a bit of a off game again today. He, there was times when he was putting passes in, and obviously the first half goal was fantastic, but he was losing the ball a little bit. His passing wasn't quite as accurate as it has been in the past, and it was a little bit odd to see him in that situation. He wasn't going past people as much as he usually does. Whether he's carrying an injury or what, I don't know. Whether he's just tired from the game a few days ago against Everton, I don't know. But he just seemed a bit out of sorts today against Southampton. Gallagher, again, working really hard, trying his best. Hughes was in the middle trying to protect the midfield and stop play going through, and he had a good game as well. Kayuta had a good game. There were players that were playing well, but we just weren't able to keep the ball long enough. And I think that we were trying to play our game that we play, kicking it about, looking between players, and Southampton were disrupting that quite well, and so it was getting very difficult for us. And so we had to make some substitutions, I think, at that point, and we did. We had Kayute went off, and Christian Benteke came on. Now at this point it was quite late in the game, and I think that Vieira wanted to try and win the game. I think that's what he wanted to try. I wanted to try and draw the game. I think he wanted to try and get a goal. He didn't want us to lose this game. So he brought on Benteke, who, has been doing what he's been doing. He was trying to hold up the ball. He was trying to get involved in the play. And then a little bit later on, Alese came on for AU, and Joachim Andersen came on for Tompkins. And it was... Tompkins didn't have as good a game as he had against Everton. He was okay, he was playing well, but he wasn't quite as solid as he was against Everton. And whether, again, as I said before, maybe it's just tiredness or whatever it was, I don't know. But he wasn't quite there. And so we had to work really hard in that second half. And it was rewarded because on 65 minutes, just before Jordan Ayew went off, actually about 10 minutes before he went off, he scored a goal. And it was the first goal that he scored in 30 odd games. No, more than that. I think 30 months, is it something like that? Something like that. A very long time. And he's it was a ball that came into the box and it was knocked out, and then it came to Ayew literally almost at the goal line, on the outside of the box, at the outside of the goal, literally on the goal line, and he managed to fire it through the players into the back of the net. And I'm really pleased for him. He's worked so hard, Jordan Ayew, and he worked hard in this game as well. He really does work hard for the team. He tries his best. He tracks back. He defends. He does the whole lot. And I'm really pleased that he's got that goal. Hopefully now this will mean that his confidence will go up and he'll start knocking a few more in, which is often the way. And at that point at 2-2, we were starting to have more of an impact on the game, and I thought we might even manage to squeeze in a third to win it, but it wasn't happening, and in the end it finished at 2-2. A lot of people are happy with the point. I'm happy with the point. When you consider how we were at the end of the first half, yes, of course, I'm happy with the point. But I think that we should be dealing with teams like Southampton a bit better. These are teams below us in the league, and it's fine beating the teams above us, but we've got to beat the teams below us. And we've struggled with doing that this season. We haven't really had a very good record against the teams below us, and that's a worry. I think we need to try and find out what's going on. Again, balls into the box, we were getting to them first time again, fantastic. Hughes' delivery from free kicks and from crosses was absolutely superb. He was whipping them in. They were really close to the keeper. Really fantastic delivery he was doing. And so there were positives there. We were defending the first ball better, but we were just a little bit shaky in terms of our defensive work. Whether that's because we had Butland in goal, and I know that Gaeta tends to come a punch more, come and catch the ball occasionally when it goes into that area. Butland wasn't doing that. He was on his line more than Gaeta normally is, and maybe the defence weren't quite sure whether he was going to come for it or not, which can happen. If you change an area like defence, which is key area, then you can have a little bit of issues here, a few hiccups here and there. But But I want to know what you think. Do you believe this was a good game? Do you think that we deserved a point? Do you think we deserved to win it? I think, based on second half performance, I think we could have deserved to win it. But first half performance, I think we were lucky to get the point. But I want to hear your thoughts. What do you believe? If you're watching this on YouTube, you can let me know in the comments below. If you are listening to this as a podcast, then please do either leave a message on the Anchor app, which you can do that, or you can get hold of me on Palace to the Core on Twitter and on Instagram. Well, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.